off the rail, I'll get you the very best meal. Did I do it? And every time you catch me using anything but yes sir and no ma'am today, I'll give you $1.
Well,
Every time I catch you using yes sir or not using yes sir or no ma'am, I get one shot with that switch. Is that deal? Can't hear yes sir.
Do we get to keep the switch?
Yes sir. Correct, isn't it? Good morning.
Good morning.
Now that we have the ground rules set down this morning, if you'll look up here beside me today, I have some pretty precious cargo on this trip today. You want to argue that point, you take it up with these young people's daddy.
That's right.
And if he's not here, you may take it up with me. Now I do have a little information this morning and a few instructions today that will go a long ways to keeping us happy campers. And I would appreciate it if you paid attention to what I had to say for just a little while. Now the golden rule this morning, the thing that I would ask you to remember if you forgot everything else that I said today, and the thing that I would ask you to do if you did absolutely nothing else that I said today, is the fact that we need a good, tight, compact group. Now troopers, this is not a pony ride at Disneyland. This is not a merry-go-round at the fair, and this is not a bus ride around this park. This is a tough, hard trip for anybody. We stressed two things this morning. Number one being safety. Number two is having a good time. What's number one?
safety.
Good man. One's listening to me. Folks, safety first, having a good time second. If you'll meet us halfway today and work with us, we'll do our level best to show you a trip that you never forget. But 95% of the safety aspect of this trip is a good, compact group. Now by that, I mean you keeping your mule from 2 to 5 feet from the mule in front of you, not 25 or 30. If you let 25 or 30 feet get between you and the mule in front of you, that's 25 or 30 feet your mule can and will run to catch up. Now take my word for this, you don't want that. You take one of those switchbacks down there doing 100 with the hair blowing out from under your straw hat, you won't have to take my word for it. Now troopers, when I say 2 to 5 feet, I don't mean 25 to 30. If you let 25 or 30 feet get between you and the mule in front of you, pretty soon we can't see you, we can't see anybody behind you. We can't hear you, you can't hear us, we don't have any idea what's going on back there. We can't see any of our precious cargo, we got no idea how Grandma's getting along. Now folks, I'm gonna just tell you out front this morning, we don't have time for that. Did you hear that?
Yep.
We don't have
Yes, sir.
time for that. I will make you mad, I'll hurt your feelings, I will spoil your vacation before I get somebody hurt. Now when I say 2 to 5 feet, I don't mean 25 to 30, and there is the key to a compact group. Everybody gets one of these little magic wands. I want you to apply that right where your mama did, with some authority.
Oh boy.
Your mama did that? Can't hear you.
Yes, sir.
Good answer. Now, is that a magic wand or what? No good on men, only women and boys. Right where Mother did me too, with the same authority Mother did, and make these mules stay up where they ought to be. Now let's keep in mind a couple of things this morning. First off, these young people's safety is pretty much my responsibility, and I take it very seriously. Secondly, these mules are going in that canyon today because you want to go. Not because they want to go, they've been there all summer. Now hear me when I say this. There is an alternative to that good compact group, and we refer to that around here as a hiker, if you get my drift. And if I'm gonna tell you something, there ain't nothing looks better on a man than good manners if you wear them correctly. You doubt that, ask your grandmother what she says about it. Folks, that compact group is the key. I want you to think this thing over this morning while I'm talking to you. You'd like to change your mind? I would cheerfully refund your money. I'll jump off this rail, do a little dance right there with a smile on my face. Get you by the hand, walk you up there like a piece of royalty, count it back to you personally. Now you leave this round, Krill. We're 10 feet out that gate and change your mind. or you're endangering yourself or somebody else, and we've got to sit you on the ground, hand you that water bottle, and point you towards the top, I'm going to keep your money. So you kind of think this thing over this morning. Safety first, having a good time second. Alternative, walk. Now, which would you prefer this morning? There's the question of the day. Compact group, safe trip. Alternative, new t-shirt. It reads, I hiked the canyon. Take another real good look at what's sitting up here beside me this morning. Make up your mind whether or not you think I'm bluffing. And if you do, please let me know what size t-shirt you prefer today. On a lighter note, now that I got the ugly part out of the way, some of these mules tend to walk the edge. Don't worry about it, nothing you can do about it. We train them that way so you get a good view down there. Now, one thing we don't like to see today is somebody riding like this. Folks, don't lean away from the edge today. Tell them again. Don't lean away from the edge today. Trooper, these saddles are not nailed on. Now, if you're leaned over here, pretty soon your saddle's leaned over here, and the next thing you know, you're skipping down the trail on your straw hat. Closest to the edge today. We want these mules with their mind on their business, not their belly. Their belly is my business. Now again, this is not Magic Mountain. That mule's turned around there eating grass off the side of the bank and about half asleep, and one of these deer sheep kicked a rock slide off in front of him. Or one of these rocks break loose, been breaking loose for 2,000 years and soaking this moisture up for 3 weeks, rolls off in front of him, or one of these 5 million hikers around the corner with a 9-foot kayak over his head. What direction do you think these mules are going to go? They're going to back up, troopers. Now, if these mules do any backing up today, we want them backing up on the trail. Are we in agreement with that?
That's right.
If you got the end with the eyes on it looking into the canyon, you got a 100% chance of that. Now, most of these mules are going to do it on their own. And if today yours doesn't, I want you to reach down, get you one bridle rein, pull the direction that you need to go crosswise in the trail. Now, as far as guiding these mules today, you really have to do very little of it. If you need to stop or slow down, pull straight back on your bridle reins with some authority. And keep pulling till your mule stops and or slows down. There's no reason for these mules to be trotting to catch up or eating grass along that trail. It's what you've got a set of bridle reins in your hands for. Again, you need to turn right hand right bridle rein, you pull right. Left hand left bridle rein, you pull left. These mules do not neck rein like a horse. They single rein like a mule, kind of like driving a wagon. Now, as far as negotiating these narrow trails and making these hairpin switchbacks you hear so much about and read about, folks, if you're up in a good compact group where you ought to be, you're on automatic pilot. That mule is going to do most of it for you. And I have got a little news flash for you this morning. You will be in a compact group today.